Hello guys, in this video I will be explaining how to evaluate a piecewise function. So in piecewise functions, it is a function that is made up of two or more pieces that have separate rule for each piece. So in the given first question, we have a piecewise function here that is a combination of three different functions. And for each function, we have a different rule, different interval. So depending upon the value of x, we will be using the corresponding function. So it's like computer programming. We have an input. These are the input parts after if, with the interval part are the inputs, and before if we have the output. So if x is less than -3, we are going to be using 12. If our number is between -3 and 6, we will be using 15. If my input is greater than 6, my output will be 20. So for every situation, we have a different number, different function. So let's evaluate this function for x equals 3 first. What is f of 3? The first thing we need to check is in which situation we are in which case we have x equals 3. Is 3 less than -3? No, it's not. So that's not my function. Is 3 greater than 6? No, it's not. That's not my function either. Is 3 between -3 and 6? Yes, it is. So f of 3 will be represented by function 15. So once I find the correct region, correct interval for x, I will be known what the correct function is. For -1, it is the same situation because -1 is also between -3 and 6. So f of -1 is also 15. Let's move on. What happens? We have a function. This was a constant function. Each function was constant for this piecewise, but for the other one, it is composed with a quadratic and a linear function. So we have two situations. For x values less than 0, we have a quadratic function. For x values greater than 0, we have a linear function. So the first thing we need to know is in which situation we are in. So we are not going to just substitute 3 for x in every function. We can't do this. We have a particular function for values greater than 0 or less than 0. Is 3 less than or greater than 0? 3 is greater than 0, so I will be using the second function. So this is the case I am looking for. F of 3 will be represented by function 5x minus 2. And all I have to do is, you know how to evaluate, just substitute the number for x. So 5x, which is 3, minus 2, 5 times 3 minus 2. 5 times 3 is 15, minus 2 is 13. So x is equal to 3 is in the second region, so I will be using the second function. What about -1? What is f of -1? So I am not substituting -1 to each function one by one. We have to be careful about this. We just need to figure out which situation we are in. Which situation I am in. Here I have a negative number. We have two situations, x greater than or equal to 0 and less than 0. -1 is less than 0. So I have to use the first function. So this function is represented by, f of -1 is represented by 3x squared plus 1. So I just have to plug in -1 for x in the first situation. So 3 by negative 1 squared plus 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. 1 times 3, 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So that's the way of evaluating piecewise function.